That's game.
And that's the game. There's
what
no
a devastating loss. Man, what just happened?
He is going to be able to swipe the face, Big Game Hunter, and that's going to do it. Lifecoach is going to BlizzCon.
Oh man, that was just such a... I don't know what to say. That's just so unfortunate for Pavel.
If you do not know who that is Lifecoach. Lifecoach was one of the best Hearthstone players we've ever seen in the competitive format, and also one of the slowest players, but we'll get to that later. But in 2017, Lifecoach decided to stop playing Hearthstone competitively for a very specific reason that I have not showcased in any of these videos before. Before we get to that, I want to thank today's sponsor, which is Buff, an authorized application of Overwolf. Buff is an awesome application that rewards you for playing your favorite video games like Hearthstone. By playing your favorite games, you get points, which you can use to redeem skins, gift cards, and so much more. You could even get hardware for playing video games. How cool is that? Earning points with Buff is extremely simple. You just need to have the app running in the background, and it doesn't affect your gameplay whatsoever. Which means while you're climbing a legend, this won't affect your chances, just RNG will. So why not go earn some Buff points so you can finally open some packs and get some new legendaries? Use the link in the description down below. I appreciate you guys. Thanks Buff again for sponsoring this video. Lifecoach got into Hearthstone because he liked the idea of modernizing old card games, and as a gamer himself who enjoyed Blizzard games, Hearthstone was absolutely perfect. Lifecoach decided to stay with it because Lifecoach himself is a perfectionist, and he really enjoyed the aspect that in Hearthstone you could do whatever you want to make sure that you're making the perfect play. He found himself really enjoying Hearthstone, and because he was a very analytical person, he found himself being really good at the game. Lifecoach also had a huge background in poker, which definitely helped him out in a game like Hearthstone when he has to deal with odds of RNG. One of the reasons why Lifecoach was so good at the game is because he used his whole turn whenever he could to make the most optimal play possible, and he did this so often that he earned the name Rope Coach.
In the Emperor, I guess Emperor makes a lot of sense when you know you're queuing into handlock. It's not ladder where it might be zoo. Frothing is a risky card to keep because if you don't have...
Oh, he kept it as well.
When Blizzard did an interview with him, they asked him what his favorite battle cry is, and Lifecoach responded with Cruel Taskmaster, but if he had his own battle cry, it would be both players now have 600 seconds to play each turn. And say what you want about taking as much time as possible, but Lifecoach showcased when you take as much time as possible, you could do extremely well in tournaments, and he was really good at tournaments. With consistent high wins, he cemented himself as one of the best competitive Hearthstone players at the time and would further showcase this as the game evolved to what it was. He was also a pretty popular streamer, but people didn't watch him for his entertaining personality rather than what he was doing in each individual Hearthstone turn, because he would explain his thought process extremely well. Not to say Lifecoach was not entertaining, but a lot of people would watch him because of how good he was at the game. Lifecoach was an extremely good person to learn from because not only was he doing extremely well in tournaments, he was also rank 1 a lot of the time on multiple regions, and if you want to be informed, he was one of the best players to go to. Lifecoach also created one of the best hunter decks we've seen back in Classic with Sunshine Hunter, which was the first time we really saw the use of Unleash the Hounds in competitive play. Lifecoach was everything in Hearthstone: a good player, a good streamer, and an extremely good deck builder. So what exactly happened with Lifecoach? Well, to put it bluntly, Lifecoach hated the way the game was going. As more expansions got released into Hearthstone, we started to see a lot more RNG involved into the game, and that's not really an issue at a casual level, but if a card is competitively viable and it brings a lot of RNG to the game, it makes his playstyle a lot worse because he has to account for much more. But in his opinion, the competitive integrity of a game starts dropping significantly if there's a lot of randomness to it.
That game? That's game! That's game! Oh my goodness!
Wow.
Never lucky!
What is
look
that?
at Lifecoach!
Rarran, good views, doesn't even know how he won that.
Yeah.
It's like coin flipping with a little bit of strategy. So maybe how you rotate the coin so that it flies through the air in a specific angle so that you can have a 10% higher chance of having this head outcome or the...
If you have not noticed, I've been really trying to pick clips of Lifecoach showcasing his reactions to RNG in Hearthstone. And you can clearly see his reaction to getting fireballed randomly generated, or Dr. Boom bootbots maybe causing him a victory in a game, can really be tilting for someone who's trying to be as competitive as possible. And when a card like Rarran is released, it could be extremely fun for a casual player, but when it comes down to competitiveness, Yogg is an absolute joke.
Well, hopefully for Pablo, the first card isn't Twisting Nether. But we'll see.
I wouldn't mind seeing some attacks in the form on these minions, but I think clearing off the tunnel trog here was a little bit risky. We'll see where this game ends up going. So no attacks available for Topo Pablo, no decisions left to make. Let's see where this pans out. Polymorph Boar, so that Boar is dead in some capacity. An Ice Block, Cat Trick, Hellfire. So board is cleared. Topo Pablo's at 4. He can no longer heal though because of Embrace the Shadows. Sets himself to one with Quick Shot, and Healing Touch will not heal him, it will kill.
Oh my goodness.
Second Yoggster on the hand. Gang up in the deck.
He is not dead. And now he has the Ice Block, so dude cannot kill him this turn. He's going to pop the block, and that might set up Pablo for a second Rarran next turn.
And even though Lifecoach was not a huge fan of randomness, that's not the only thing that was really taking him out of Hearthstone. There was a lot more.
Yeah, it also doesn't help that that there are cards which are obvious, includes in every freaking deck. Complexity.
That's my team.
The only way how complexity is in the game is, when complexity is playing. They basically deleted all the interesting mechanics from the game. I wonder what happens next. Mentioned often enough in also publicly that they want to get rid of charge mechanics. They want to get rid of direct damage mechanics. They want to get rid of combos.
It's just delete the game.
They want to get rid of OTK combos specifically, but also of burst combos. They want to take away all cards which might create sick combos, which might reduce, which might be too powerful.
As you can see, Lifecoach really did not like the direction that the game was headed to, and he was very vocal about it. He was also very vocal about the competitive aspect of the game, of how he felt like the team was not actually supporting the competitive league, and that he felt like there was no future in competitive Hearthstone. He also felt like, compared to other card games, Hearthstone did not reward you for the amount of time you put into it. In his own words, he said you could play like crap and you could still have a 50% win rate. It's like coin flipping with a little bit of strategy.
They messed up the game throughout the entire years and always did everything which was kind of bad experiences for the pro scene, for the pro players, for competitiveness, for competitive players and so on. Yeah. Putting aside that this entire ladder system is a complete joke, the resets are a complete joke. I mean, I wonder what geniuses are even coming up with such systems. I mean, you have to be sadistic to come up with something like this. Yeah, it's like... yeah, whatever, guys.
In a PC Gamer interview, they asked him how he doesn't feel rewarded in competitive Hearthstone, and he had a really interesting line that goes, "We realized how ridiculous the system is and that it rewards hard grinding. The more games you play, the more reward you get. It's not about who's playing the best, it's basically about who's playing the most." And because of these thoughts, Lifecoach decided that he was done with competitive Hearthstone and Hearthstone in general, and moved on to what he believed as a more competitive game, Gwent. And in the first official Gwent tournament, Lifecoach actually won the whole thing, winning $60,000 and showcasing that he was just good at card games. And that's the whole story. That's why Lifecoach left, and that's why he's probably never coming back. And if you're wondering what Lifecoach is doing now, he's probably just hanging out because he made a lot of money from poker, and you could still see him stream here and again playing some Gwent, Slay the Spire, or whatever game he feels like. But that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know with a comment down below who you want next for the documentary, and if you want to support me more, make sure you check out the Patreon. It would mean a lot. I'll see you guys in the next one.